Welcome to Between Two Vines. Today I have Mrs. DeMarchi, and it's so interesting because we're sitting in her old office when she was the principal of Vineland High School, but now she's in a new role. She serves as the Executive Director for Curriculum and Instruction for our public school system. Mrs. DeMarchi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So today I have a few questions for you
Okay.
about your new role and the work that you're doing to lead our school district. It's been an exciting time as you transitioned in on July 1st. Talk to me about some of the changes that you experienced from principal to executive director.
Some of the changes, first the transition's been very exciting. I've had such a welcoming experience. Everybody has been so welcoming in this role and supportive. And I thank you for being so supportive to me as I've been making this transition into my new role. Curriculum and instruction is something that I've been very passionate about. I feel as though this role is so critical to the district because it impacts every single child from preschool all the way through our 12th graders. What students learn in the classroom is critical, and it is important that myself, my team, and the district, we put so much focus on what our students are learning and supporting our teachers so that we can provide the best education possible for our students in the district.
Wow, that's right. Your position impacts every child, and that is so true. Take us back a little bit, because I know you were a supervisor, you became a principal, and now you're in this position. Take us back to when you started teaching and walk us through a little bit of your career.
So I started my teaching career actually as a 7th and 8th grade language arts and math resource room teacher at Clearview Regional Middle School. So that's really where I started my teaching career. My degree is in special education. I have a Teacher of the Handicapped teaching certification. It's one of those unique certifications that really doesn't exist anymore. It's now teaching students with disabilities certification. So 7th and 8th grade resource room teacher. I was at Clearview for about 2 years before I became a teacher in Vineland Public Schools. I taught right at Johnstone School for approximately 12 years. I was a self-contained 2nd grade teacher, special education teacher, and that was super exciting. I was very passionate about wanting to do more and wanting to make a difference, a greater difference, not just in the classroom, but to an entire school. And then I always knew eventually to an entire district. So I pursued my degree in leadership, and my first leadership opportunity was I was a supervisor, pre-K through 12, special education supervisor for Kingsway Regional School District. I also was the supervisor of business, technology, family, consumer, and Title I, which is very interesting because now I oversee Title I now for the district. So I was a supervisor, Kingsway Regional, and then an opportunity arose. I knew I always wanted to come back to Vineland because Vineland's my home. I was an assistant principal for 3 years in the district before I became the principal right here at Vineland High School campus for 5 years. And then this awesome opportunity arose that I could not turn down, and I went for it, and here I am today as the Director for Curriculum and Instruction.
It's incredible. Your background makes sense now, knowing that you have that special education focus. You're always thinking about students when you're planning, and also keeping in mind our diverse learners and what they need and what they demand from us as educators. So it's wonderful to get that background from you. Before we move into another question, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, Suzette DeMarchi, outside of school, family, activities.
I have been married for over 20 years to my wonderful husband. We have 2 children. We live right here in Vineland. He actually went to Vineland High School. So 1980, 6, I think. But so my husband is a Vineland High graduate, which is super cool. His picture's actually hanging in the hallway. So I have 2 children, Nicholas and Brooke. Nicholas is now in college, and Brooke is a senior in high school. So it's, I've, youngest of 5 children, and it's just awesome.
I know you're an avid runner, right?
I am an avid runner. I try and run as often as I can. Just kind of brings that stress release down a little bit, and so I do. But spend a great deal of time with family as well outside of work.
That's excellent. So, thinking about the programs that you have been implementing and also designing and innovating, what is one thing that you want to kind of highlight, that's really got you excited about Vineland and the work that you are doing with your team?
Choosing one is very difficult. We have so many things happening within the curriculum instruction program, but I do have to say I'm very, very excited about the amazing opportunities that are right here at Vineland High School for our students within our CTE programs. We continue to expand our CTE programs here at Vineland High School. We have agriculture, we have our construction trades, graphic design, we have Health Science Academy that just launched this year that is going very well, and we're super excited to launch cybersecurity for next year. So that expansion and being able to provide students with as many opportunities as possible. It might be that one course that gets students here to school. So just being able to provide as many opportunities for our students, but our CTE program has really been expanding, and we want to continue to expand it, and we really want to get the community involved as well. So, but if I have to pick one, I will say that those CTE programs are amazing.
Yes, they are. It's exceptional, the work that you've been doing with your team. And like we launched health sciences and cybersecurity coming next. That's going to be very, very exciting. Our students are going to be very interested in that program because it's so timely, so worldly, and there's so many extensions that our students can connect with the greater community, whether it be with law enforcement or the use of drones to provide surveillance, whatever it may be. There's just so much around cybersecurity that's very exciting. We'll speak to our student population. You were what I would call a linchpin in the process to get our Portrait of a Graduate off and running and so successful. Talk to us a little bit about the process, what we were able to do, and where you think the Project of a Graduate program or process is going to take us.
So I cannot take credit for the Portrait of a Graduate. You brought Portrait of a Graduate to the district, and I was fortunate enough to be asked to be part of the process. However, what I found being part of the team, and it was truly a team effort, that it is something that all students can benefit from. It was a community of stakeholders that chose 6 competencies that we believed our students right here in Vineland would benefit from. We know that our world is changing very, very quickly, and the jobs that our students, our current students, our little ones in preschool, there's jobs that haven't even been thought of yet. But we know as a district that there are skills, there are competencies that our students must possess in order to be successful regardless of any career path that they choose for themselves. So the district has embraced Portrait of a Graduate. The community has embraced Portrait of a Graduate. We started by creating the plan. We have a visual that is our guiding light for the district, along with the 6 competencies. And we introduced it to our administrators. We introduced it to our entire staff. So that was very exciting. And now we are monthly introducing it to our students, one competency at a time. In October, or in November, we introduced communication to our students. And now in December, we're ready to introduce the competency of empathy. So it's been very exciting to see the lessons that have been created so that our teachers and our staff can really teach the importance of each competency. So I'm excited to see where this continues to go, but it is truly a district effort.
Thank you. Your team and we all worked very closely on this. You know, just to pull this off was a monumental task. And it is that guiding light that will lead us into strategic planning. Strategic planning for the district will launch late January, early February. We're going to use those competencies to help guide us in how we select the next 5 years of initiatives and areas of focus. So I want to thank you for the work that you did, and also sharing that, yes, we did launch communication, and next is empathy, and how our kids express their learning around empathy is going to be wonderful to see, because there's so many connections throughout all of our character programs, our curriculum, and even school-based activities in the month of December that will align beautifully with empathy.
And when we return in January, we'll be talking about critical thinking. And I chose perseverance for the month of February, because we want students to know you got to keep pushing through. February can be one of those very cold, wintry months where it can be difficult. And just talking about persevering, and you can get there, you can do this. So, you know, we're going to continue on each month, and then we hope to celebrate at the end of the year.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Just a final question, you know, what has you really excited?
The possibilities of what can be and what will be which really gets me excited. What also gets me excited is when I now have the opportunity to see all of our students and to visit all of our schools. So I love going in and seeing the little ones in preschool, and then I love being able to come in and see our oldest students right before they graduate. So just being able to just see how our students can progress through our district. But I'm also excited of all the possibilities for the district and our students.
That's excellent. But I want to thank you for the work that you've done. You jumped into it July 1st with both feet, just right into it, working on curriculum, working on design of the scope and sequence. Now we're unpacking new standards that came out from the state. We're connecting our assessments. We're implementing a literacy program in K-5. We have our instructional coaches, which you featured recently in the plan that you've done around them. All the work around the mentoring, a handbook, and the work that you're doing there, the MTSS process. You have your hands full. But I know
I'm ready.
You can do, yes, you are. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, thank you, and for joining me here on Between Two Vines. It's been excellent talking to you. We're going to come back to you in a couple months so we can hear about some of the outcomes associated with these different initiatives.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.